The Los Angeles fire, a term that often encompasses a series of devastating wildfires that have plagued Southern California, most notably during the dry summer and fall months, symbolizes both nature's fury and the vulnerability of urban landscapes that encroach upon its natural ecosystems. These fires are not just limited to a single incident. Rather, they represent a chronic crisis that has evolved over decades, becoming a harbinger of environmental change. The ever-increasing frequency and intensity of these wildfires serve as a reflection of broader climatic shifts, where traditional weather patterns are upended in the wake of global warming. From the scenic coastal hills to the more rugged mountain terrain, these flames leave in their wake a trail of destruction, engulfing vast areas of land and irrevocably transforming the landscape in a matter of hours. In recent years, these fires have not only wreaked havoc on the natural environment, but have led to the destruction of thousands of homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure, creating an urgent call to action for both residents and policymakers alike. As the flames consume what were once dense thickets of chaparral and thriving wildlife habitats, the physical transformation of the region becomes startlingly apparent. Swathes of greenery that once offered shelter to a diverse array of plant and animal species are often reduced to charred landscapes that resemble a post-apocalyptic setting. The air, filled with thick plumes of smoke, turns a once vibrant blue sky into a murky haze, leading to significant public health concern and impacting air quality well beyond the immediate fire zone. Wildlife, too, suffers the consequences. Native animals are forced to flee their habitats, leading to increased interactions with urban areas as they search for food and shelter. The fire's relentless advance is especially fueled by the notorious Santa Ana with dry, strong gusts that sweep through the region, creating ideal conditions for rapid fire spread. Compounded by prolonged drought conditions that leave vegetation parched and dry, these elements coalesce to create a perfect storm for wildfire outbreaks. Indeed, the flames dance a perilous dance that reveals not only the destructive power of nature, but also the stark reality of how ill-equipped we often are to manage such events. This unfolding disaster forces a profound reckoning among local governments, state agencies, and individuals, compelling them to reconsider their strategies for both prevention and response in an era marked by increasingly severe wildfires. With each devastating fire season, there emerges a growing awareness that traditional methods of fire management, which often focused on suppression alone, are no longer sufficient to address the complexities of these ever-looming threats. Conversations about land management practices begin to take center stage, emphasizing the need for proactive measures, such as controlled burns to reduce fuel loads in vulnerable areas. Communities are increasingly called upon to participate in creating defensible spaces around their property, thus safeguarding themselves from the encroaching flames. Innovative technological solutions, like predictive modeling and real-time mapping, are gaining prominence, with agencies utilizing satellite imagery and drones to monitor and manage fire risks more effectively. As the climate crisis continues to reshape our world, the lessons learned from these catastrophic events necessitate a re-evaluation of our relationship with the environment, pushing us to contemplate more sustainable land use practices, improved fire-resistant building materials, and comprehensive disaster response plans that prioritize both human life and ecological balance. As we gaze upon the remnants of the LA fire's impact, it becomes increasingly clear that these wildfires serve as a critical juncture for society to address not only immediate concerns, but also long-term strategies for environmental stewardship. The scars left on the landscape are more than just physical reminders of destruction. They ultimately tell a story about our collective responsibility toward nature and the realities of living in a rapidly changing climate. Each year, the devastation brings to light the imperfections in our infrastructures and emergency response systems, highlighting the pressing need to adapt to the realities of a warming world while also cherishing the very ecosystems that sustain us. The fires illuminate the urgent necessity for a unified approach in combating both their causes and consequences, fostering public discourse on how to protect communities while also nurturing the vibrant ecosystems that are vital to our planet's health. As homeowners, policymakers, scientists, and activists band together to forge a path toward resilience and recovery, the Los Angeles fire stands as both a cautionary tale and a rallying point. urging us to confront the harsh truths of our existence while promoting a more harmonious relationship with the world around us. The human aspect of the LA fire narrative unveils a profoundly moving story of resilience and community spirit unlike any other. Each fire season transforms lives, presenting both challenges and triumphs that highlight the indomitable strength of individuals and families faced with unimaginable adversity. Tales of heroism emerge, showcasing the dedication and bravery of firefighters who risk their lives battling fierce blazes under unforgiving conditions. These brave men and women, often working in arduous shifts that stretch for days without respite, become symbols of hope amidst despair. Their valiant efforts are complemented by numerous first responders, paramedics, police officers, and community volunteers who go above and beyond to ensure the safety of residents. Families, too, are tested in ways they could never have imagined, with individuals coming together in a whirlwind of emotion and urgency to evacuate their homes, prioritize what to save, and move quickly to safety. As they pack cherished belongings, they also create moments of connection, sharing stories and laughter even as they face uncertainty, embodying the spirit of solidarity that shines bright in the darkest of times. In the aftermath of these tragic events, local communities spring into action, creating makeshift shelters that pop up almost overnight, providing refuge for those displaced by the flames. Within these temporary havens, bonds are forged among people who were previously strangers, uniting them in their shared experiences and struggles. This camaraderie is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. As families grapple with the reality of loss, they find solace in one another, drawing strength from the collective experience while nurturing friendships that blossom under the most trying circumstances. In this era of social media, the power of connectivity is unleashed, allowing organized volunteer groups and informal networks to mobilize quickly and effectively. Neighbors gather supplies, prepare meals, and offer emotional support to one another, reinforcing a sense of community that extends beyond physical proximity. Yet, this outpouring of compassion starkly contrasts with the haunting scenes of devastation that often lie just beyond the shelter's doors. Once bustling neighborhoods are left resembling ghost town, devoid of life and laughter, as the remnants of homes stand in stark contrast to the memories that fill the air like lingering smoke. The juxtaposition between loss and community strength highlights both the fragility of human endeavors and the defining connections that can arise from shared crises. The recovery process following such catastrophic events proves to be arduous, lengthy, and intricate, requiring a multi-dimensional approach to healing. It is not merely about rebuilding physical structures, but also about restoring the psychological well-being of those who have endured loss. Individuals affected by the fires wrestle with the trauma of abandonment, displacement, and uncertainty about the future, necessitating comprehensive support systems that address both mental health and practical needs. Mental health professionals, community groups, and local governments band together to provide resources, counseling, and forums for expression, enabling survivors to voice their experiences, fears, and hopes. This healing journey is anything but linear. As families move forward, they must also navigate the complexities of grief, loss, and rebuilding while facing questions about their identities and dreams. In the face of such overwhelming challenges, communities across Los Angeles transform from victims into advocates, galvanizing their efforts towards sustainable practice and approaches to disaster preparedness. These collective initiatives promote future resilience, ensuring that they are better equipped to respond to the inevitability of the next blaze. Through workshops, town hall meetings, and grassroots campaigns, citizens come together to advocate for policies that promote fire safety measures, enhanced infrastructure, and environmentally sustainable practices, fostering a proactive stance that empowers them despite their traumatic memory. In threading through the fabric of loss and adversity, these communities emerge more united than before, dedicated not only to recovering physically, but also to uplifting each other as they write a new chapter in their collective story, marked by hope, resilience, and a shared commitment to protect their environment for future generations. As the specter of the LA fire looms large in the consciousness of its residents, it beckons a broader reflection on critical issues surrounding environmental policy, preventive measures, and urban planning trends that have historically contributed to the ever-growing fire risk in the region. Each time flames engulf vast tracts of land, the devastating aftermath compels government officials, urban planners, and policymakers to reevaluate existing strategies and practices. There is a palpable urgency that rises within the community, pushing for comprehensive land management approaches that prioritize measures such as controlled burn, the careful thinning of overgrown vegetation, and the restoration of natural fire cycles. These practices aim to reduce the fuel load that wildfires depend upon, thereby creating a more resilient landscape while minimizing the potential for catastrophic fires in the future. Beyond the necessary policy adjustments to combat fire risk, the fires prompt a critical dialogue about sustainable urban development and land use. As cities continue to expand into the wildland-urban interface, the fringe area where urban development meets undeveloped land, there is an urgent need for a paradigm shift in how growth is approached. For too long, many urban planning initiatives have overlooked the inherent risks posed by fire-prone landscapes. Now, the conversation evolves to include strategies that not only account for housing and infrastructure, but also incorporate safeguards for the natural environment, prioritizing fire-resistant materials and designs that can withstand the flames. Such a shift requires collaboration between various stakeholders, including urban planners, environmentalists, and the very communities that stand to benefit from these innovations. In tandem with these discussions, multifaceted educational initiatives are rolled out to inform residents about fire safety and preparedness. These programs aim to cultivate a well-informed and well-prepared populace capable of responding proactively in emergencies, ultimately fostering a sense of ownership over the safety of their communities. Workshops, information campaigns, and community drills become commonplace as citizens learn how to create defensible spaces around their properties, develop family evacuation plans, and navigate the complexities of wildfire alerts and resources. Education serves as a bridge to empowerment, enabling locals not only to protect themselves, but also to collaborate effectively with emergency responders during high-stress situations. Meanwhile, the narrative of destruction wrought by the fires serves as a rallying call for renewed advocacy for climate change action. The devastating impacts of wildfires are inextricably linked to broader global environmental issues, and as such, they ignite systemic conversations at both local and global levels. Activists, scientists, and citizens alike push for stronger climate policy, advocating for sustainable practices that mitigate risks associated with extreme weather events, including wildfire. Through coordinated efforts, community members engage in grassroots campaigns aimed at reducing carbon footprints, promoting renewable energy, and implementing conservation initiatives that prioritize ecosystem health. As people rally around recovery initiatives and advocate for meaningful policy reforms, a glimmer of hope emerges amid the devastation, signifying a collective commitment to not only rebuild, but to rebuild thoughtfully and sustainably. The LA fire saga thus transcends mere catastrophe. It unfolds as a profound call to action. It inspires a balanced approach between human advancement and a deep respect for nature's equilibrium, highlighting the ultimate journey towards coexistence with the majestic yet unpredictable force of wildfire. Each story of survival, cooperation, and innovation is woven into the collective fabric of the community, representing not just the struggles faced, but also the resilience and courage that emerge from them. As residents unite to confront the challenges ahead, they transform their experiences into powerful narratives of change, embodying a hopeful spirit that recognizes both the fragility of life in fire-prone regions and the strength that comes from coming together to face adversity head-on. Ultimately, the lessons learned from the ashes can guide a more sustainable future, one in which the relationship between urban landscapes and the natural world is not one of conflict, but of mutual understanding and respect.